Robinhood Markets, guys, is in a very interesting situation. We have seen stock price hold at all-time high for 1, 2, and 3 days, ultimately getting the close over with a strong wide body bar. Now we're seeing stock price trying to hold this ascending support line, which previously was resistance, where in the past we had some trouble. So could be the next step for this euphoric price action movement. With that being said, guys, waste no time. Let's start our price action analysis, first stemming over on the weekly analysis. We're zoomed out on Robinhood Markets. We're looking at every single price action movement that has been had on Robinhood since dating back to July of 2021 when we initially IPO'd. Something notable, guys, we've been keeping in mind is we have this huge cup and handle structure, enters a downtrend for a couple of years, entering about a couple of years of a consolidation. We start to set these higher lows, setting that bullish divergence. We squeeze over the top of this trend line. We break out, come down, retest, and explosive move up. This did form the perfect cup symmetrical pattern, entering into this handle phase, which is a very nice bullish reversal pattern, guys. In this instance, we did see a cup-like structure for the handle, right? Sometimes we do see them sideways, hence why we had this within the last video for the example. Typically, they go something like this, break over the top, and then boom. This one was not that. We had this cup sort of structure, revisiting the neckline, and we broke over with a strong body bar, initiating the breakout, guys. We did set an $85 price target on the channel. We did break out. We have officially hit that very easily, and we have pushed even past that. So first and foremost, guys, for you guys who've been tuned into these updates, you know that, of course, we're at all-time highs, guys, right? And $85 when we initially IPO'd Robinhood Markets, we had a very quick rise up when we initially IPO'd. We perfectly rejected $85 and then knifed down into this year downtrend. So revisiting this moment with the handle breakout, didn't take a genie to say that, hey, this is this is a big spot, guys. Right? So what do? We pause here, ultimately getting a break, better seen on the daily. We will check that out in a minute, guys. But as of now in the weekly analysis, guys, I mean, anything over this all-time high, it's very, very euphoric. Because any short sellers who are within this position, guys, where would their stop loss be? We mentioned this in the last video, right here. If they have any brain cells, guys, not to be rude to anyone who maybe did get trapped in the short position, but you do not want to be holding a stock like Robinhood, which is this strong out of a cup and handle breakout, hovering right under all-time highs, because anything over that, you'll see a very quick move up. Notice how we initially went to this $100 psychological level and pause, right? These high-flying stocks, guys, Robinhood, Palantir, a lot of these kind of stocks, they stop and halt perfectly at all-time high. That is what we're doing as of now. Something notable, right? We have to remain unbiased. We have seen 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks of each close getting higher, 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 setting green candles, guys. So we do have a ton of overextension to the upside within the short-term aspect of things. So if we do see a red candle forming, guys, we could see a red to green reversal, right? In the past, we've seen a micro example of this. Stock price is on a very nice run with this very nice breakout stemming 1 green candle, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Right when we get the pullback, we yank down, guys. I do not think this will happen first and foremost, where we yank as hard as 65 to these lows of 31. I think it's very, it's not going to happen, guys. I doubt it. But first and foremost, it would make sense here. If we do start to form a red candle, where would we come? The last number one data point being this all-time high, guys. So keep that in mind, right? As of now, I don't want to be the genie with the crystal ball. We said this in the last video, right? Even though we are a little bit overextended, we could see a squeeze up euphorically, and that's exactly what we've seen, guys. So we definitely can see continuation, but as far as the weekly analysis, guys, our best friend, such a simple technical analysis technique, let's keep an eye on these green candles. If they continue to form within these green candles, the momentum keeps rising higher with higher closes each and every time, and we should be able to keep going. Really simple as that, guys. We'll track this on the weekly analysis to see when we do flip red to maybe get that green to red reversal, momentarily revisiting all-time high. But as of now, guys, stock price is looking very, very strong. Little wick on the top, but with this volume confirmation, man, this is a very meaningful movement. This is the biggest volume we have had really over the last few years. I don't know if Robin has ever got this much volume. Yeah, we've never got this much volume. We did when we initially IPO'd actually over here back in July 2021, but this really lets you know, man, volume is right next to price action. Price action is king, but when you see a strong price action movement, break of all-time high, with an all-time high volume, guys, it's very, very strong. So we don't want to come on here, guys, say we're going to drop, but we do acknowledge we're overextended. I don't really advise the buy-ins moments, guys. You could have bought 60 bucks, 50, 40. I mean, there's so many opportunities over the last few months. Now buying at $95, it's not as appealing, but we're not acknowledging, guys, we're not going to ignore, sorry, that, there could be more upside. So that's what we're looking at on the weekly, guys, to understand where we're at. With that being said, let's go flip over to the daily. Get a little bit more of a medium-term analysis. Robinhood markets, guys, has had one very, very clear daily constraint we've continued to watch over the last few months. Whenever we started covering Hood, I believe about a month and a half ago. So we've seen this very clear ascending channel, guys. This ascending channel started down here within these touch points, leading us from as low as $30 to the peak at that $100 psychological level, which we do need to mark up, guys. That is the number one next big resistance, as this is a huge psychological moment, guys. Right, we have no resistance above us since Robinhood has never been this high. So the next areas we want to watch, guys, $100, right, 110. The psychological levels, we'll get there. If we get there, we'll mark those as they occur. With this being said, right, we have seen this continual trend. We push up, we come to the bottom of the channel, we get tight within a flag, breakout. Push to the bottom of this channel, get tight, breakout. I mentioned in the last update over here, getting tight against the channel, or 2 updates ago, sorry. We broke up once again as we expected, and then we're seeing the halt of this all-time high. This could have offered a double top rejection, right? As in the past, we zoomed way, way out. This was the area where we did IPO and perfectly wick out at. So to see stock price holding very patiently underneath there, if there was any opportunity where the short sellers would step in, it would be here, guys. We did pause for 3 days after very strong movement, ultimately closing above with huge volume, guys. And that's super notable looking at this chart, man. Notice how when the volume profile, we get a better representation of this, pull up the volume indicator, right? We were more or less decreasing within our volume profile, kind of just inching down some decent volume. Then right when we break over the top with this huge candle to break all-time highs, we see an abnormal amount of volume. So stock is doing what we need to do, man. We're holding the top of this ascending channel. In the past, whenever we got to this region, we got shot down, etc., etc., etc. So now we're seeing stock price clearly attempt to hold this as support, which we previously were using this ascending trend line right here. So this is a little bit unorthodox, guys, but it definitely looks very bullish in nature. Seeing that we have this massive liquidity up, and it appeared that we were, maybe going to blow past $100 until we topped out there on the daily. So this is a spot, guys, where we should expect stock price to honestly remain pretty calm for a few days, collecting energy for the next movement. I think it's a very high probability situation. We do play out likely for, there's a lot of momentum, guys, so it is a little bit tricky to say, but we should say, another 3 days or so, kind of building this flag-like formation where stock can really just get that excess energy it needs to get the next movement or the next drop. Some sort of flag like this, guys, it doesn't have to be as textbook, as perfect as this perfect horizontal structure, but, we are holding this pretty nice base down within these lows. Stock price, we will mark this up on the hourly, but this does coincide with the ascending trend line. So to see these hammer candles after this big move up, like sellers stepped in, but it wasn't super strong, right? So it's kind of back and forth within the energy. Steadily, this does lead us to believe within the context, we will see consolidation before ultimately likely going higher. So that is what we're seeing on the daily, guys. It really is as simple as that. Let's go flip over to the hourly to get a little more of a short-term analysis so we can wrap this whole image up. We have a lot of seasoned traders here on the channel, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. It really means a lot. But we do have some more beginner traders, and this is a great example for everybody to learn, right? We were basing out underneath this all-time high. What were we doing? We were forming a bull flag, guys. This is very, very textbook. We're forming this very, very beautiful bull flag. We gap over. When we gap over, guys, we need the volume to get that strong push up. When we mark a vertical line to this breakup candle, we got the volume, guys. We got the volume. Down here, it's getting dry, and then boom. Volume confirmation led to this. Stock price knifed up, leaving another strong move, which we did in the past, to give us this bull flag-like structure over here. Stock price knifes up, forms a harsh movement up, enters another flag-like structure. This one better seen on the 15-minute, right? Not the best, but view on the hourly. We did get the hard squeeze out of there, guys, with a big bullish wide bar being this one right here, engulfing all these candles. This is a really nice breakout level. Most times than not, we would see the continuation past $100, but this did lead into what we said on the daily, right? The sellers got in over here, kind of dropped it from $100, then we gapped down overnight, and now we're kind of holding this ascending trend line once again. So, on the hourly, a little bit of a fake breakout, but then again, there was a very sizable movement out of this flag, just was short-lived, right? 9% movement. It's not a bad movement at all. So we will delete these now. These lines don't mean nothing, as this was a former micro flag. We do expect stock price to likely use these touch points to kind of validate within this flag again. Notice how we have one body over here, one wick, two wick, three body, for wick, right, we have a lot of touch points moving up. So this ascending trend line will likely be the base for the flag. I don't want to say this one yet because we only have about 3 or 4 touch points to validate it, but stock price should form out within some sort of a flag structure on the hourly, guys. It doesn't have to be as textbook as, Hood has been, right, with this flag over here. We've seen a couple of them in the past, guys, right? We've seen one over here, not the prettiest one, but we're descending, getting tight, break out, come back down, retest, boom. So we have seen this played out. Another one over here. These consolidations at a key level before moving higher. So I really see some reminiscence of this, guys. As of now, this is what I'm predicting. We'll follow this live, guys, but expect, honestly, just a couple days to kind of get our, get the buyers, get their feet wet, getting ready for the next movement. There is a chance this consolidation does lead to a breakdown and a retest within this all-time high, but it is a lot more probable, guys. The trend is your friend, and we are pretty bullish within these constraints that we do ultimately squeeze out into a breakout. So I would say here, guys, keep an eye on this consolidation. Whether way this drops should let us know the short-term momentum. And as of now, I would expect a couple days of flatness, despite seeing this crazy volatility break out at all-time high. Right, it is kind of a bold prediction to say for Robinhood markets here, but I do think we at least see 1 to 2 days of consolidation. Doesn't need to be the craziest consolidation, but likely the area where sellers and buyers kind of battle, get a little bit of tight, and then we make the next move. That being said, guys, we do remain overall bullish on Hood Robinhood markets. We can't be that guy with a crystal ball when we see this crazy trend up. The buyers have been doing what they wanted to do with the stock, really bullying the short sellers here. It would be irresponsible to say we are bearish, but we do understand, guys, that we are pretty extended right within the short-term aspect, and if we do see some major data points come in, we could have a little bit of a pullback, likely retracing back to this breakout level being all-time highs, guys. If you found any value in the video, consider like, subscribing. We cover Hood about 1 to 2 times a week. It's been 1 time lately, but we're going to start covering it more, man. It's really exciting stock. So that being said, guys, I appreciate all you guys in the comments, man. I really appreciate you guys. Drop a like and a sub if you guys want to do that. That being said, guys, take care, have a good day, and peace.